Hey gang, Kevin here, Life22. And, are you excited, right? So, this is the next edition of our buddy. This is, well, it's part of my my new release of a section of the channel we kind of let sit by the wayside. So, I'm picking back up from July of 2023. We have July, and then it jumps into November of 2023 of the Luke Winky Files. Who forgot about Luke? Jesus, I sure didn't, because I just got letters as recent as November 4th, and then a week before that. So I've got pretty much like more than a year. I mean, if you look at this exhibit, this is one letter, and then yeah, we pick up November. Literally the next filing is November 3rd of 2023. So we have over a year of Luke Winky stuff to read to you. I know how excited you are. I feel like Steve or Benji or whatever the kids' names are, John, Bob from Blue's Clues. Do you remember that? Like, hey guys, we just got a letter. Isn't that fantastic? It's from a crazy, deranged gentleman who got sent to jail over and over and over and over again, and consistently sends letters out to plead to people that he's not crazy. And you'll see as we go through this, because I've been also, so this first one you're going to see is very interesting because it was a release. It was, it's public record. So this one wasn't actually addressed to me. This one is called Exhibit B. And it's a JLS document that was filed on July 28th of 2023. And it looks like an email submission. So we have a whole pile of stuff because people will send me things that they've accumulated, and I just tried to put them in chronological order thus far so that we can kind of just, keep the story alive. We got to keep the ball in volley, right? So, so yeah, so we're gonna try to start like releasing a few of these. I might read like 10 of them and then just, or do the whole pile and then release each schedule each release. So, and I know Sober October has ended, if you didn't know, and I've been trying to, pace myself. But something like this, you kind of have to just have a couple beers in you for, because, I mean, the insanity. If any of you remember, it's been a while, the insanity. So, Exhibit B, filed July 28th of 2023. But it's that's the file date. So, it's an email sent from Lucas Marshall at his proton.me email. Ooh. I don't know what the hell that is. And then that's redacted. Sent on Saturday, May 13th, 2023. Subject: George Floyd is dead, and that's a good thing. Hi, I never did introduce myself. A lot of these, by the way, I'm just going to give you a forewarning. I haven't read. They come to me. I save them in a folder on my computer. I print them, and they went on this pile on my desk. And now I'm clearing out my desk, and I'm like, you know what? I probably just bang these podcasts out and make our way through it, right? So, I never did introduce myself in this direction before. What an awful experience I have had with your city of Minneapolis and your criminal defense industry altogether. I never got arrested my entire life until the age of 29, when I made the mistake of having a heart for your client, Benjamin Ryan Teeter. He acted like he was stranded out there, so I came driving out there to be with him for a week. Sounds pretty gay. Does my head have this thing? Yeah. There we go. No, I didn't get it. There. Okay. He got arrested September of 2020. The word entrapment wasn't even in my vocabulary up until that point. So I found myself physically crying for a stranger harder than was normal. Sounds pretty gay. I thought he was just an activist and a demonstrator out there up to that point. Why FBI would treat a jobless American like a jihad was beyond me up to that point. A lot of up to that points, Luke. A few months later, boom, went that Capitol, and that was a very good day given the shit state third world country I unfortunately live in. I did not know at that point that he blew up the police station. I decided that when third world countries like ours have wars on the home front, people who should be honest with each other and on each other's side end up pleading the fifth about everything. Over a year went on, and your comrade, Ryan Gary, continued to make fake recon profiles, speaking to me very impersonally when he could have just spoken to me directly. The best I can say is if you and your significant others were torn by Nazi lawyers and thrown into separate prisons, you would cry for each other and you would get very nasty towards the Nazi lawyers who keep acting aggressive to you. I even had a paying client for Ryan Gary from Capitol Riot Daniel Christman, but none of my continued efforts to be nice face-to-face as I have always been for years with many people have ever played out with that stranger who will never have the privilege of meeting me. During COVID Omicron, my house was broken into by the neighbors who no longer next door to me. And I was living by myself the whole time, going through everything COVID gave me. After over a year of not being allowed to talk to Teeter and everyone acting like he was my queer significant other, based on this letter, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, I flipped out and gave up, since this is a natural human reaction to Nazi lawyer attorney client privilege, as they called it. I don't think they called it. Oh, okay. There's the quotes. Sorry, my printer was fading at this point, so he doesn't have all the commas and punctuations and grammatical things that he should have in here, but this one did have. So, reactions to the Nazi lawyers, quote on open quotes, attorney client privilege, close quotes, as they called it. Turns out that that stuff can have negative impacts. Given what happened to me in the end, you all kept me in the dark, and even crying way too hard than was normal. Nobody ever felt threatened by me before. I haven't even punched anyone since high school, and that was over cafeteria milk. Okay, so I get that nobody should have been, you may have threatened people, but, it's one of those things, like, nobody should be threatened by you, Luke, especially if you're punching. But now this goes to your sanity point. Like, you punch somebody in high school over cafeteria milk. I get that we were all, like, immature and a little, hormones running through you and stuff, but. So, Ryan Gary, the former head of all your state defense lawyers, got me arrested for the first and last time at the age of 29. He never even met me. I am so fortunate to have all my things back, like pictures of your client, Ryan Teeter, with Gary Johnson at the age of 14 in 2012, so I can maybe one day buy ads in Wilmington newspapers one day and say, Gary Johnson creates cop killers, and that was in quotes as well. Since the Libertarian Party, both Teeter and I know each other from, created a copy killing drug dealers out of him, I will be going to Trump 2024 direction since the 52-year-old Libertarian Party, where Ivan Hunter also comes from, having worked in Nick Sarwark's before, made a 31-year-old incel out of me. After being thrown into separate prisons, Ryan Gary put it into workout between these two in the court notes, as I had to sit and listen and swallow the intense emotions in handcuffs in a courtroom about what he had said. After him not letting me and him talk, after him relaying messages from Teeter to me over recon with Teeter asking if I loved him when he is old, to which I say, yes, this is what your wonderful colleague did to me. My head hurts. So thanks for the felony, Minneapolis defense lawyers. I already want it gone because I have dignity and I do not deserve this. I can only imagine if Brett and Lauren Teeter, or if Ryan and Teresa Gary were torn from bed by Nazi lawyers while fornicating each other and thrown into separate prisons, then the Nazi lawyers say it didn't work out between these two. I can only imagine how awful that would feel. You made a comment in there that said that, like, you're pissed off that people are calling you Ryan's queer significant other, but you just described it's the same exact thing if the head of the Minneapolis defense lawyer was torn from his wife, who apparently you know his wife's name, and or Ryan Teeter's parents were fornicating, like they were just like two independent couples fornicating, right? So you can't sit there and say, like, I'm sick and tired of people calling me gay for Ryan Teeter. Well, if you're fornicating with them and you're saying these other people are fornicating in bed and you pull them out of bed, like, they arrest you while you were fornicating with their son? Well, not their son, but it just, I guess I don't know why I'm trying to interpret the ravings of a lunatic man. Then again, why am I reading them on the internet? But it's fun. It's fun. It's a blast. I can only imagine how awful that would feel. This is what your... Man, these are long. City's defense lawyers did to me. Capital Me. Now, it is illegal for me and Teeter to speak. Good job, guys. Now be and Alexia Bollig aren't separated by probation. Oh, and now he and Alexia Bollig are separated by probation. Awful job you guys did stopping crime, because those two used to raid ATMs together, and their pro-homeschool family knows this. I'm the one who wanted Teeter to fix furnaces here in my town, but then he decided to be a sand... Well, sometimes I won't read words that he puts on here, but let's say that DMX uses it in quite a few of his songs. Jihad, and chose the Hamas... Oh, my printer really... route. This is what you people did to me out there. I can't tell you how much the Minneapolis defense industry has made me hate America. Over a month back home, and this finding a job, quote unquote, bullshit. is difficult since I live in an impoverished rural area, and Uber and Lyft was perfectly fine for me, but I won't give up. Your city's defense lawyer divided two people who meant well. Your city's homophobic lawyers are too pompous to realize what it would feel like for couples to be torn by well-off Nazi lawyers wearing powdered wigs and to go through this never-ending bullshit I kept going through year after year. Who am I to teeter at this point? Question mark. Probably nothing. Someone he knew for 2 weeks face to face. So he spelt weeks as in like week instead of like the time allotment of a week. Someone he was divided from because of your state's Nazi chief lawyer, Ryan Gary, who kept serving as a secretary middleman on the recon, as my FBI paperwork proves, not allowing us to speak. I'm happy George Floyd was killed at this point. That guy is someone I would have called 911 on. And I was trying to do that to my neighbor here in Olean after my house was broken into. Olean police said, come help us with your neighbor. I showed up at the police station. There's an FBI to get me after the defense crime profiteer I never met issued the arrest. Was a taxpayer who lied to quite a different entrapment. Thank you for ruining the otherwise positive relationship between me and Teeter, Minneapolis defense lawyers. Thank you for the felony, but I would like it gone now, all in capitals, now. I never made anyone feel threatened by me before. I will include a picture of me and my mother and State Representative George Borrello from May of 2021 in this email, so you can see I'm not a gang thug. Thanks for making someone you people never met at 31 years old, incel with no relationship history and with a felon. Luke went down for a dude who never gave him dick, is what they're saying now. This is embarrassing on my end up to this point. Thanks for legally dividing Teeter from the one who wanted, well, him. Now he can go back to raiding ATMs with Alexia Bowling like before. Excellent job, guys. Thanks for letting me cry as hard as I did in late 2020, early 2021. I didn't even know the word entrapment up to that point. Andrew and Christy from Buffalo FBI assumed he blew up the police station, but no, I didn't. Assuming definitely made an ass out of you and me. Thank you for killing my American experience, leading me on for over a year and not making me less free. I sure do hate this shithole country because of your city's overpriced defense lawyers who waged class warfare on me and got my prior income shot. What a loveless country I live in, and your defense lawyers have taken away the very basic human need for me, since you're all a bunch of human rights violating animalistic Nazis. I am 31-year-old incel thanks to your fine work. So again, thanks for nothing to your city's criminal defense industry. I don't enjoy your city whatsoever. George Floyd is dead, and that's a good thing. By the way, I don't know who out there talks to Tanaka, but I'm not native. She found me online the week I got home Also, your client lied about my grandfather's hunting rifle. This is never-ending drama that I'm going to continue to carry it on and on and on until things are solved to my liking. Thanks for aggressively breaking up two good people, you homophobic shit lawyers. Again, you're not defending your case that you weren't his queer lover or concubine or whatever you stated earlier in the letter, dummy. Anyways, it's been since September of 2020. I talked to Teeter early 2021 over recon through Ryan Gary, a homophobic rice bag I never want to meet. Thanks for the felony. I've already earned a pardon from. Thanks for the sad memories. You people did nothing for me, a stranger you never met. You jacked my income and you lied to me. Now Teeter and Boning are going to be raiding ATMs in peace, since I was apparently a piece of shit all along, since the criminal defense lawyers want, in capital letters, crime to continue so they can keep making a profit. Have fun living with yourself, profiting off of violent crime rises. I never needed a defense lawyer before, and once this is finally off my record, I never will need one again. Luke, and then there's a period, like a bullet point, and then it says Luke Winky. And then here's this shows you how like my printer was failing at the time. That's why it's going a little slow. But apparently that is George Borello, Luke's mom, Janet, and then Luke. Just because I've seen that photo. He sent it to me in letters before. So, all right, guys, that was Exhibit B. Wasn't that exciting? All right, I've got like 28 more documents to read. So we'll see you guys next time on Life22.